Okay, Miss Ava, this is your garden bed. Oh, this is the wind. I'm sorry. Wait for the wind to die down. I don't know. Maybe choose a different one, or I think you probably got some wood on it in the kitchen. Okay, tell me what you're planting here.
I'm planting garlic and really sweet kind of carrots and tiny carrots that are like that big.
Yes, they look like.
These are the sweet kind,
These are the sweet kind.
which I actually need right now.
And then these are these cute ones.
The tinies. And I'm going to be planting more lighter, but this is.
And so we completely understand that we are late in planting garlic. Can you cover up our garlic? But we're kind of planting them between our carrots because we heard that they are friends and that it might help with one of the pests that attack carrots. So show me how you're doing this.
So I just put the garlic, the rest of it in.
Can you come
But
down
I'm
here?
just sprinkling my carrots in the holes here, all the way across, and then back again. And then I do it on the bottom, and I just keep doing that.
So they're both.
So I'm doing a pattern kind of. So these, the sweeter and bigger kind of carrots are up here, and then there's garlic, and then here there would be the smaller carrots, and then garlic, and then the bigger, sweeter carrots again, and then garlic, and then the tinier ones, garlic, and then sweeter ones, and it's kind of like a pattern.
So this is our first time doing carrots. We know
No, we did it at the big house.
Oh, that's right. And they can be a little tricky, but Ava is determined to get it right. So this is her bed.
Favorite vegetable.
So why did you choose? They are one of your favorite vegetables. These and what other veggie?
Cucumbers and Brussels sprouts.
So those are the other things she's planting. And so these will. Why did you choose these varieties?
Because they're not my favorites, but they're also not my least favorites. So I'm gardening and putting those in first. So if I make any mistakes while doing these ones, I can improve them when it comes to my favorite ones, like the rainbow ones right there.
Oh, that's right.
I have rainbow carrots.
So she really wants to do these two and a few other varieties. And so
I'm doing these ones first, and I'm gonna eat those first, see how they go, and then I can improve my mistakes when I do my favorites.
And we have all this cardboard around us to reduce the weeds, but what are we going to be putting in the walkways? Wood chips. Right.
Like at the old house.
Yes, that was super helpful at the old house, right? Okay, yes. So these are all planted, and then Dad is going to be putting what over your garden bed?
A big piece of wood and like a tent thing to keep out these two kind of bugs. There's this beetle, and he lays her eggs in the ground by the carrots, and then when the carrots start to like just come out of the ground, their babies hatch and they eat them all.
Yes, so we're going to cover this.
And there's this moth that eats them too.
Yes, and so we're going to be
cover
covering this.
It so it doesn't get in.
And then the rows where the carrots are, we're going to put a piece of wood, like a plank of wood over it. Do you remember why we do that?
So that when it rains, it doesn't wash away
while
they're still little.
Right, and then also carrots are very finicky. What do they not like to get?
Too much sunlight.
They don't like to get too dry. Yes. So the way to keep the soil moist while they're germinating is some people will put a plank of wood over the carrot seeds while they're germinating. So it keeps the moisture in. Exactly. So it just
and they also don't have to be like out in the rain.
Yes, and so then when they have germinated, we can remove that plank of wood.
And once they're like grown and bigger and not just tiny little seeds, because the seeds are really, really tiny. So if it even rained, if they're like even smaller than one raindrop, so it just rain will just wash them all away, and it'll mess up how they grow.
Right, so we'll see. This is our first, well, we've grown carrots before, but this is our first year really focusing on them in a bed, right? And paying attention to taking really good care of them. So we'll let you know how it goes. And then, yeah. So Ava, why don't you take your other carrot seeds and put them someplace where they will not blow away. And I will.
I still have some extras of the ones that I got.
Oh, good. All right, because we'll plant those at a later time.
Like
Sean got me this gift yesterday. So this is like I really like this for planting little bulbs like onions and onion sets and garlic. This made it much easier, and I like the way that it has measurements on the handle, so you can kind of measure as you're planting. So some husbands buy flowers, and Sean does that too, and some buy their wives' gardening tools. So works for me. So let me show you what Sean is working on. We just finished planting 2 of our potato beds, and we're actually going to be moving our leaf corral to a different area, taking this apart and moving it because it didn't work the way that we had hoped to. But my video cut out when we were planting potatoes before, so I figured I'd show you what he's doing. So this is some of our compost. I'll let Sean explain. Chickens are working. So we took some cardboard and we put it in the walkway of the beds just to continue to keep the weeds down so that we do not have any weed pressure coming up through this walkway. I do love this walkway that we've seen when it's really heavy rained, that it gets water in here, but it doesn't flood the beds. Right, Sean?
Yeah.
All right, tell me what you're doing, handsome.